Joyers. I hope you're doing well. Happy SaturPlay. How are you? How was your work week? What did you do? Please share with me below. How was your work week? What did you do this weekend to add some play, fun, joy, laughter? Okay, can you see? Into your life, please share with me what you did. I would love to know. What I did this weekend is or this week is I actually did play a lot. Me and Nisi Poo, we really enjoyed ourselves this weekend or this week because a half a day was what yesterday. So we've been playing, we've been enjoying ourselves. We colored, we went outside, we talked, we chit chat. And so I really enjoyed myself. And I hope you did. What are your plans? Do you have any big weekend plans? I would love to know. Please share with me in the chat what your weekend plans are. It sounds like I have a little feedback. Please share with me in the chat if you can hear feedback or if that's just on my end. But what are you doing this weekend? I am in Raleigh. It is so beautiful here in Raleigh. I've already been outside twice today. I did a sunrise walk this morning, and then I went to an exercise class today. I've already had a mastermind, and now I am on here ready to play with you all to see what you're doing today, this weekend, to make sure come Monday you are ready to go back to work, that you jump up when your alarm goes off because work is our contribution to the world. So what are you going to do to make sure that you are ready come Monday to go back to work, to enjoy yourself, to make sure that you are thriving, right? Not just surviving, or work is a place that you go to survive or to get a paycheck or just something to do because it's what we do as humans, but it is purposeful. You are there for a reason, right? You like going to work, you like your coworkers, you like the people you're around, like the work that you do. So how can we make sure that that is the standard? And in my professional opinion, it means to make sure you are playing as hard as you work and that you are managing your stressors. So if you manage your stress throughout the week, throughout the day, you are more engaged, you produce more, you enjoy more what you're doing, you're less worried, you're less stressed, you're less anxious, you have less physical symptoms. And so it's so very important for you to get into a role, a job, a company that you like, and just manage your stress along the way, because there are going to be stresses in any context. If you leave this job, you will eventually be stressed in the next job. And so it's in your best interest to learn about stress, learn how to manage them adaptively, and make sure that you're doing this every single day. So for today's play, we are going to do some end of the year work. So today's theme will be gratitude. So let's start by saying this. Gratitude for me is an attitude. It is something that I live by. I wake up every single day. One of the first things that I do is practice gratitude. Thank Source, Alive, God, Jehovah, that I woke up this morning. I set my intentions for the day. I pray, I meditate, and then I journal. And in my journal, I write three things that I am grateful for. So I have a gratitude practice, two of them that I do every single day. If I journal in the evening, I also write three things that went well throughout the day. And so gratitude is just a very big, important part of my life. It is giving reverence to what created you, to make sure that you are in alignment, that you are picking positivity, and grateful for the experience that you're having. We can spend a lot of time just doing, and we do not spend enough time being. So practicing gratitude is a great way to be, for you to count your blessings, to see where you are, to see where you come from, and to really just ground yourself in the now. And in the now is the only way you can make the necessary changes to improve the quality of your life. And so gratitude is so very important. It matters how we feel about our life, how we feel about what we do, and the experiences that are happening to us. It really does matter. And so how we go about counting our blessings, being grateful, being thankful, incorporating a mindset of plenty, of abundance, not feeling entitled to what is happening. Because really, if you're not practicing gratitude, you are practicing entitlement. So if you think that you are entitled for all of these things to be happening to you and for nothing bad to happen to you, then what you're most likely to attract is negativity or toxicity, right? You have to be grateful for the experiences that are happening for you, regardless of if you like them or not, if they're positive or not, because everything is here to make you better, to help you grow. And so one of the things that I do every single year is at the end of the year, I like to reflect. I have a gratitude jar. That's another practice that I use. And I am going to do a video on gratitude jars because we have about 10 days before this year is over. So I always try to do a video on a gratitude jar. But this practice in particular is a gratitude letter practice. So what I do is reflect, and at the end of the year, I sit back and think about all of the people who have drastically impacted my life, all of the events, all the emotions that drastically impact my life, and I write out gratitude letters. Now, again, I believe gratitude is an attitude, and so I try to stay in the attitude of gratitude. I make it a practice, and so at the end of the year, it seems only right that I take the time to be grateful for the people, the emotions and the events that impact my life. So far, I have gone through the first part, which is always the easiest part of the gratitude process, believe it or not, people. It is so easy to feel grateful to people, whether they influence you in a positive or negative way. It is very grateful to, or very easy to feel grateful to people. And so that's always my first step, to write out the people who are really, that I'm really grateful for meeting them, or how they influenced me this year, or how they changed me, impact me, stretch me, grew me. And so I like to take the time and thank them. So I already went through people. The last of it, I think, was Thursday. So I wrote 20 gratitude letters. I am completely done with my gratitude letters for people. I've written 20. So you should have received them by now if I am grateful for how you impact or influence my life. So I've wrote 20 of them. If I wasn't able to get it to you, then I burnt it. I sent it out into the universe. But for the most part, most of those people were able to get the actual letter. And then I sent out 5 texts. 4 of the texts were to the groups that I am that helped influence me this year. I am so very grateful for them. I sent one to my mastermind. I sent one to my cohort for my doctoral program. I sent one to my women of excellence. And I sent one. Hold on, there was one more. Cohort, mastermind, women of apps. There's one more group. Oh, my SRP for my dissertation. I sent one out to them. So my SRP, my mastermind, my women's of excellence. So I sent it out to 4 different groups, and then I sent one text message out to one person. So overall, it was 25 messages, 20 letters, 5 text messages. And I always feel so grateful to serve people and tell them how they have impacted my life, and tell them how awesome they are. People deserve to know. People deserve to get their flowers now. I work very hard to be a person that I like, that I love, that I'm proud of, right? And so therefore I want to acknowledge people. I know the work that I put in to become this person, to make sure my character is high. So I want to thank people. I want to practice gratitude and tell them that how they show up, the work that they put into their self really matters, and how they impact my life. So the 25 letters for people, done and gone. Now, the next stage of this is I write gratitude letters to my top 6 emotions, or top 5 emotions, I should say. So I write down all of the emotions that I experienced this year. And I experienced, from what I've written, I experienced over 73 emotions this year alone. 73. And I can recall them and feel them right now. So I experienced over 73 emotions this year alone. And so what I did was write a gratitude letter to my top five. Now, so far, I've only written it to my top one before I put the cart before the horse, got too excited, and started folding them the way we used to do as children. And I got too excited. I started like folding them before I finished writing them. I was in a playful mood. Look at this. That's so cute. That's so cute. I was in a playful mood, but the one that I did get finished, the one that I started, the top emotion that I experienced this year was sadness. And so this is my gratitude letter for sadness. And what we're going to do today is, I've already written it. I don't know if you can see, but it's words in this one. It's no words on the other ones. But I've already written out how I am grateful for sadness, how the good, the bad, the ups and downs really help create me this year, make me, mold me. And so, what I like to do with my emotions is color them. So, I like to draw on them and color them and think about what happened throughout the year that produced this emotion, and draw a little message on it, make it fun and festive, because I am going to release it and let it go. So after I draw it, and do all the emotions and write a very intimate letter to them, releasing what I've learned and grown, I go out and burn it. So you have to do that safely. Don't be going out there starting fires and say, Ebony told you. I didn't teach you. Okay. So anyway, what we're going to do is just chat about some of the sad experiences that I experienced throughout the year as I color this gratitude letter. So, I mean, obviously, a lot of it is too personal or too intimate to share, and only too personal and too intimate because I haven't yet processed fully enough to heal. So I think a lot of the things that we talk about, we should be fully healed before we open it up and put other people in our business or make it a topic of conversation. So if people poke, you don't have to scream, ouch, right? So I will talk about the sadness that happened that I am willing to share this year. And then maybe we will approach this later on, once I have healed completely. So, one of the greatest sadnesses that or sadness, or saddest things that happened to me this year, or that, how do I want to say this? Like, the saddest experiences of this year were one and the same, which is, or not one and the same, but death. It was so final for me. I lost two grandparents in the span of 9 months. The first one really rocked my core. I was very, I mean, I can't say that I didn't expect it. I wasn't surprised, but I was kind of surprised. I don't know if you've ever been around somebody that always has something going on, but they kind of always beat it. And so you kind of always assume like that they will, that even though they said they're saying that they want to, transition, you kind of just think, oh, I got more time. I got, a couple of more years with them, or at least a couple of more months. It was just hard for me to really wrap my head around it. With the death of my grandmom, at the top of this year, actually, she died. She transitioned the first day of Black History Month. Gotta love Granny. um, yeah, it was just very hard because she had been sick. We knew she was sick, and she told us that she was ready to transition. That was very hard to hear. because I felt like, of course, that she was giving up. I didn't want her to go and to leave. I feel like we still had so much more to learn and grow from. But I can understand she was in so much pain and she was just kind of ready to move on from all of the pain she was experiencing. So I can respect that. I can respect it, even though I may not like it. I may not agree with giving up. I could respect, having an illness that you've been dealing with and battling for a long time, and you're just ready to transition and move on and see what else is out there for you, or what's next, I should say, not out there for you, like she's going to get a new flavor ice cream, but like, kinda. We don't know what's next, so kinda. So, that was kind of hard to hear her say that she was ready to transition and to accept that the doctors had told us that it wouldn't, you know, it could be any day. Basically, they told us to count our blessings, spend our time with her, because we just don't know, it could be any day. And so I did. I spent as much time as I can. I called her. I tried to have a deep relationship, ask questions, and that's one of the big things. Death is so final that there's so many unanswered questions, things you didn't think, or questions you didn't think you would have now come up after. And so, yeah, it was just so many things that now I wish I had asked her. I did have a great relationship with her, so I got to ask some questions, but there was just so much that I wish I would have known. And so if you have elders out there, take the time, go spend some time with them, get to know them, ask their story, ask them questions, really get to know them. I just found out, well, she told me, but she told me when I was a kid, I kind of just laughed off her maiden name. So I found out more about her after she transitioned. And I knew once she transitioned, I said to, oh, look, I didn't mean, but that's kind of cool. I said to my friends and family that I look forward to having a relationship with her, after death, life after death. And so I just kind of been thinking about all of the lessons that Granny taught me. It's just very sad that I can never talk to her again. I still hear her voice now in my head. And so it's sad that one day I may not be able to do that. I have saved voice messages and everything, so I can just always go back and listen when I miss her or when I want to hear her voice. But it's just death. It's just one of those things that's so sad that you just have to go through it and feel it. You can't run from it. As far as Grandpa, he transitioned last month. He was sick too. That was another hard one. It produced a lot of sadness because, well, from Granny, I think what I never considered was, their children, because you love them too. So you're thinking about your own pain, and just to kind of see my dad struggle with the loss of his mom, and then fast forward now seeing, my mom deal with the loss of her dad. It is very eye opening. It's like a 360. It's humbling. It helps you to realize that we all gotta go. We all getting up out of here, right? It's really how we gonna go, how we gonna live, how we gonna go, and when we gonna go, and are we living a life that we can be proud of in the meantime, right? My grandmom, it was so interesting, just to see how she was in such good spirits. I won't say good spirits because death is hard, but one of the things she said to me about my grandpa is, didn't he look sharp? And that was so cute and so sweet. Like, just like, she was, even in transition, she was still just like crushing on her boo. That was cute. And I thought she would be sadder, but to see her like celebrate his life and, think about how they met and the transition of their life, it was just beautiful. It was beautiful. So this was an interesting year as far as death concerned, transitioning. It was a hard year for me. I lost some heavy hitters. We lost our lineage. And I will say, it feels like since they transitioned, things changed. Like the energy that they held transferred on to the next generation. So I felt more powerful, with the transition of my grandparents. And people say that that's normally how you feel when you lose a parent. The transition of a parent really pushes you towards a different understanding. But I was very close to my grandmom, and so, well, at least in my younger years, we kind of had differences of opinion as I self actualized, but we used to be extremely close, and so it was just that was heavy. Another thing that I was sad. I was also sad with, well, I won't say sad. I was trying to finish my dissertation earlier than I did. I was trying to get out of school by May or June and graduate this year, so I wouldn't have to wait all the way until June 2025. And so I did so much legwork last year and at the top of the year to make sure that I was ready to go come January, February. Just a lot of things just happened and stood in the way of me actually starting my study or my dissertation. And so that was very stressful. I will not lie to you. It was very, very stressful. For months, I was unsure. I was basically depressed because I felt like that I worked very hard to get to a certain place. And after everything, the very last thing wasn't working out. And so I was so sad. I was so sad that I couldn't get the people I needed for my study, that I couldn't find a way to help people understand what impact could come from them taking just the 20 hours to do this study. Like, yes, I know life is busy. I know you don't necessarily understand how beneficial it could be, right? Because we don't technically know what stress is unless we learn. We think we know, but we don't. Trust me, we don't. And so that was just very challenging for me. It was very discouraging and sad. It was actually spiraling me. I had to get over or accept that I wasn't going to graduate this year, that I would have to wait until next year. I was very bummed and sad about that because I was so ready to get out, like ready. And so, again, the crazy thing about that one is it worked out perfectly. The way it worked out, I wouldn't have had it any other way. I'm so grateful for my SRP. I learned a lot from them. I think they learned a lot from me. We're still very close. Like I said, I sent out a gratitude text to them, telling them thank you and taking the time, telling them thank you for taking the time to help me complete my dreams and goals. And I hope that it was as beneficial to them as it was to me. And so that was sadness that had a happy ending. I don't know if that's the same thing as far as transitioning or death, but I will hope that eventually it would be more of a happy ending. Now, again, I have a relationship with both of them as they have transitioned, but I would hope that as more time progressed, I would get more revelations and feel more grounded in the transition of both grandparents from feeling sad to, grateful or any other positive emotion other than sadness. Now, I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if you can ever stop feeling sad, but I'm willing to see if I could feel something alongside the sadness. Maybe not eliminate the sadness, but can I feel sad that they transitioned and maybe happy that they moved on to a more interesting and happy life? I don't know. What else I was sad about? I'm sad about this echo. Maybe you can't hear it. I can't. What else that I can share? Oh, yes, I am sad about, or I was sad about relationships this year. I had a very interesting year when it came to the relationships in my life this year. That's all I'm gonna say on that for now. But yeah, I'm still pretty bummed about that. I have accepted, the changes in my closest relationship, all of them actually, every last close relationship. There's been a change. A few of them not bad changes, but a lot of them, most of them, let's put it like that, most of them, I had to make some changes too. Because another thing about transitioning is that it opens you up, it cracks you up, and you start, or open, and you start thinking about your life and how you showing up and what you wanted to mean. I'm just obviously just putting colors on the page. I'm not even. But anyway, it opens you up and makes you think about life and what you want to add to life and contribute to life and what you want your life to mean while you're here or after you're gone. And I think that was one of the things, especially at the top of this year, I just had to I had to accept, like, you have one life. How are you going to spend this life? Are you going to stay in predicaments, environments, around people that do not add value, do not help you grow? Or are you going to step out of your comfort zone, practice courage, and do what you know you need to do? Are you going to be obedient to source or obedient to your comfort zone? And so one of the things, or many things happened this year, but the one thing that really helped push me out my comfort zone was Granny transitioning, because um, yeah, that was, yeah. So as you can see, I just kind of, it's harder than you think to talk and think, talk, and then do something like play. So I try to pick little small things, but it's like I can't really think about the vision that I want to put together while I'm talking to you and trying to think through what I want to say. So I guess I'll just stop coloring for now. It's not really the best, but I'll do the other ones off camera, and you'll see the difference between me trying to talk to you in color and me just really going into my childlike energy and playing and coloring these letters before I write them and burn them away. So anyway, I do want to say thank you to sadness, though. Although it was painful, pain is the best teacher, and sadness helped me to really put things in perspective. I am so grateful for the sadness that happened in this life. I mean, that happened this year. Although it was painful, it did help push me, grow me, stretch me, and I'm just so very grateful for the sadness, because it helps me realize that I'm alive. And negative emotions help you appreciate the positive emotions. So if I wake up, my norm is happy. I wake up with a smile on my face. I'm laughing, I'm joking. First thing, early in the morning, 4 a.m., 5 a.m., right? Early in the morning. If that is my norm, it's helpful to experience, negative emotions, sadness, because what happens is it helps me appreciate the joy that is me more, right? It helps me to honor and be grateful for the fact that I spend most of my time in a joyous state. And so I am so grateful for the sadness. It helped grow me. It helped stretch me. It helped put things in perspective. This year in itself, although it was painful, Lord, this year was painful. It was my best year ever. I lost so much, but what I gained is priceless, and I would not trade it for the world. 39 years, this was the hardest year. Well, that would be 38 years, because technically I just turned 39, but the hardest year, but also the best year. I lost so much this year, but I gained so much, and I'm so excited about next year. And I hope you are, because you deserve to have a quality life. And one way to do it is to practice gratitude. And there are so many different ways you can do it. As I mentioned, I wake up in the morning. First thing I do is say what I'm grateful for, or practice gratitude for being alive today. And then I journal and I name three things that I'm grateful for. I have a gratitude jar that I drop moments in that I experienced that I'm grateful for. And then also at the end of the year, I like to reflect on my year, and I like to write gratitude letters to three different things. People, right? That's first step for me. That's the easiest. The second step, which we're talking about today, I write emotions. So my top five emotions that I experienced this year, I write a letter to them, thanking them for the good and the bad. And then the last step, the hardest step, is writing gratitude letters to the events of your life. The events are really difficult. It takes you right back to being into the moment of these events, especially the difficult ones. But because of those moments is really when you grow, is really when you stretch. And we learn best from pain, from mistakes. So I am always grateful to the events, but they are so hard to write. It's so hard to like really relive them again, to go through them, to ground yourself, and release the energy behind them. Now, this year, and I normally do three of those. So I write unlimited gratitude letters for whoever has impacted my life. And then I do five emotions, and then three events that I want to say that I'm grateful for. So please try it. I would love for you to try it. Write out gratitude letters to those who have impacted your life and changed your life. And then I want you to write gratitude letters to the top five emotions that help influence you this year. And then I want you to write the top gratitude letter to the top three events that help make you. It is so very important that we reflect, we do the work, that we unpack our year and our trauma so that we're not taking things from this year into the next year. It's so important for us to ground ourselves and be in tune with our emotions and the events and people that we experience in our environments. So do your due diligence, do the work, make it fun, make it playful, and go out of your way to add playful, fun, joy, laughter into your life. We work very hard, right? But we do not play as hard as we work. We do a lot for other people, but we do not do the work that we need to do internally. So take the time, practice gratitude, make it a part of your everyday, and make sure that you are doing the things to improve the overall quality of your life. And the first thing that you should be doing is healing. Yes, I said it, healing. And gratitude letters or practicing gratitude is one of the ways that you can do it. So get out there, do the work. This year is almost over. We have 10 days left. Tell the people that you love them. Tell the people that you're grateful for that you're grateful for them. Tell them why you're grateful for them. Show up, do the work, and you will be glad that you did, right? Just like you want your flowers, people want their flowers, right? And in order to get yours, you must give it to other people. You get what you receive, or you get what you are, right? So if you want more gratitude in your life, be more grateful. If you want more joy, more happiness, more play, more fun, you bring that, right? You cultivate it within yourself. So I am going to go ahead and let you go, work life warriors. I will see you tomorrow for our book review. In the top of the year, we are going to get a lot of these communities of practices live instead of just looking at the video or me going live and you listening to me. I want us to come in as a community and talk about these things and do them together, right? Heal together, play together, and rise together. Why not? So please put in the comments, what do you think about writing gratitude letters to people, to emotions, to events of the year? What do you think about gratitude? Do you practice gratitude? I would love to know what your thoughts are. So please share with me in the comments, and I will see you tomorrow for our book review. Have a great day, Work Life Warrior.